Get your crypto crackhead torches ready because we're going to light some fires today. We're going to first go over the early morning fake out. One of these two patterns is almost always what happens when there's high economic impact data that is coming up, similar to those words you see on titles of YouTube videos like core CPI, FOMC. This is what happened, and this is what happened today. The top one, the bottom one is sometimes what happens. I'm going to show you how to interpret that and how to play the charts more carefully. Second, what we're going to go over is I'm going to show you a couple of secret charts that go together that interpret the price action of Bitcoin, saying it's either going to go sideways or up over the next 5 to 14 days, so 1 to 2 weeks. However, it does suggest Bitcoin might only go sideways and not up. I'm going to show you what those two secret charts are in connection. And last in this video, make sure you stay tuned. I'm going to connect those two charts to Bitcoin price and show you what it means on the Bitcoin price. So are you ready to start out with this? Get your crackhead torches, crypto crackhead torches ready. Here we go. Let's light some fires. Here we are. This fancy program called Paint. One of these two designs is how the fake outs happen, and I'll tell you near the end of this first segment of what whales are doing and how they're making money from it. But in general, either you go down overnight and at market open spike the other way, then go back to the middle, and then at market close it can go either way. Or if you mosey up at night and then spike down at market open when the high impact data comes out, and then go back to the middle, market close, then you can go either direction. That's what this is saying. Today, this is what happened right there, and that's the first most important thing to know. It's the same damn type of pattern, but it just depends on which way price goes overnight. That's it. That's it. Now, and the timing of this is that, so the second major point to this is the juncture of night to market open here, this juncture there, where it spikes. It depends on the timing of release of the high economic impact data. So for example, today, this time was not truly market open. Rather, it was 8:30 a.m. And thank goodness that Cosasverdes puts on his Twitter and pins it to his page on at Cosasverdes with the number 2. Make sure you're following me on my Discord calendar that I post for everybody to see. But I include the high economic impact data and the time it's going to be released so that you can plan for this stuff. All right, so make sure you follow me on Twitter. And this is the time to give a quick thumbs up to this video and give me a quick emoji whatever comment so you can help out the algo for your content creator here. So again, this juncture here depends on the timing of the high economic impact data. So if FOMCs sometimes come out at 2 p.m., then these words down here are technically going to be wrong, because it would then the spike up either way. So either go, this spike or this spike where it reverses direction could happen at 2 p.m. and therefore this is actually during the trading date, is that instead of market close. But FOMC meetings are like once a month or more sparingly. So, but you have to, I just don't want to muddy up this chart. But in general, the high economic impact data either happens at 8:30 or like 10 a.m. The non-FOMC stuff. And again, I post that on Twitter for everybody to see. All right. Now, that's the second most important, just general idea of these fake outs. I'm going to do 4 total, okay? The last one is why whales are doing it and how they're making money, so this really sticks. I promise you, I'm going to explain it so this makes perfect freaking sense. All right, the third most important thing to know is the range. What is the range of this? And it's 5 to 10%. Today was 6.6%. When it is close to, so this is on Bitcoin. All right, this is on Bitcoin. 10%. So you get higher on the scale here on the percentage of the range of the fake out if it's FOMC or if it says core CPI. Anything else that's high impact economic data, it's likely going to be closer to 5% from bottom to top. Am I making sense? All right. Now, the fourth thing, I'm going to get off of this fancy program, Microsoft Paint or whatever it's called now, and I'm going to show you on the chart how whales are making money from this, and it's going to make sense. So here's our shape. You float down at night, early morning start floating up, and exactly at 8:30. So if I go to the 1 minute candle, actually I will do that, but next. It floated down at night, early morning started floating up and spiked up and boom, back to the middle. See that? Boom, boom, boom. It was that pattern. The range of this from top to bottom, if you want to see, is 6.6% top to bottom, or 6.7, whatever. All right. And I'm going to zoom in to this area right here. Damn it. Right there on the 1 minute chart. Actually, I am on the 1 minute chart. I'm going to hover over this, look down at the very bottom of my chart. You see that gray box moving? What does it say? 8:30 a.m. Can you see that down there? That's it. Okay, now, how are whales making money from this? Well, first off, these insiders, they already know what information is going to be released. They're going to know if things are under target, over target. They already know. Politicians and big insiders, they all know each other. Many know each other, right? And they're in a club, and they talk, right? Humans are a very social creature. And so they already know, okay, well, tomorrow this is what's going to happen. The data is going to come out and it's going to create a pump. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to take on longs, but not here. So we're going to sell on spot, right? To initiate a short a long, like a stop cascade. So we're going to trigger a bunch of stops for people longing. So we only have to market sell down here. So the sell pressure that we have to put on and how much we have to sell on spot to get the index or whatever to go down, Bitcoin, whatever, we only have to sell to here because that's going to initiate a bunch of stops, and the market itself, the stop cascade, does the rest. But they already have their long orders down here before they're selling on spot, because they know what news is going to be happening, and they can help influence the price of Bitcoin and whatever major stocks with their money by buying on spot. They can help influence it, right? And so that's what's happening. They have their orders down here, and they already roughly know where they're going to take profits. That's what's happening. It's people who already know what's going to be released, who are floating price into either their longs in this case, or if you get the inverse, you float up at night, spike down, and then go to the mean reversion, which is the other play that happens. They are putting their shorts way up here, and they're activating some roughly halfway up a stop cascade that brings it into their shorts, and then it goes down at market open or whatever high impact data, and they're making money from it. That's it. And it creates a pattern. So don't. And let me do a fairly short rant here about the word manipulation. Don't worry about manipulation. I see it used as a bad thing. It creates volatility. All you need to make money in the market is volatility and predictability, a certain blend. Like, you can't have extreme volatility, off the walls, without, I guess, extreme. It's not just an even sum, but you have to have there's a sweet Mama Bear's porridge. It's got to be just right, not too hot, not too cold, whatever. It's got to be in the middle. Got to have a perfect blend of that. And so manipulation creates volatility, but it's humans who are programming these bots to do that, these algorithms or whatever, and it creates patterns of predictability. So almost every time, I promise you that you hear on YouTube, the word manipulation is used in a bad way. Just study it. It becomes predictable. Make money from it, right? That's the first point on the manipulation. Second half of the quick rant is, if you go and buy, how I hold a decent amount of ideology. It's one of the very few things I'm holding out through the bear market, and I still have all of it. I'm still staking it. That has a market cap, anything with a market cap of 5 million and under. If you buy on spot, okay, what has to be spot? Anything that small is not on futures. If you market buy or market sell with more than $500 on a small cap, you are manipulating the market too. You're going to move it 3 to 4%, or maybe 3 to 4%, with that type of order. So you do it too, is my first point. And second, manipulation, it's both predictable and volatile. It's often predictable. It's not always predictable. So I've gotten my butt kicked a few times. But if you study it, you can make it more predictable. And it's by default more volatile. So what is profitability? Profitability equals volatility with predictability. So hopefully this is a valuable little rant. Every time you hear people manipulation, it's actually, they just don't know how to make money from it. I got paid today only $7. To be wrong. I got stopped out on Bitcoin. Even though my Cardano short, I just got to add to it because I got freed up money. I got paid to be stopped out, $7. This looks like if this was a stop hunt, not continuation, I got stopped out $6.70 or whatever. to be wrong. I got paid to be wrong, and I got to add to other positions, which I'm in right now, Cardano short, per my VIP alert today that has been working out quite fantastically so far. And we're in a risk-free trade, so even if we're wrong, we're in a risk-free trade. Doesn't matter. That's all you can do over and over is get in risk-free trades. All right, so that's my manipulation rant. Here we go. Back to the show. All right. And that is how whales are making money from it. Insiders know what is going to be released at 8:30 or FOMC or whatever. Before that happens, they're driving the market or influencing the market in one way, triggering some type of stop cascade one way or the other. They already have their orders down here. Then their sell pressure stops, and right at market open, they influence it that way, right, with their market buys, okay, or market sells if you're doing this pattern right here, okay? All right, and so hopefully you can remember that pattern for the early morning fakeouts. All right, now here is the secret two charts that are saying, I think I might have said it wrong at the beginning, maybe just for, not clickbait it, but I think I just said it wrong. The second portion here is giving super strong evidence that Bitcoin cannot resolve itself to the downside for 1 to 2 weeks. At least 3 days, but it's going to be a little bit. And I'm going to, at the end of this second segment, I'm going to tell you why that's valuable and how that can help you make money or stop you from losing money, which is making money, essentially, right? Money you don't lose is money you make, which also is the value of a Discord community, because if you're trying to piss around with clicking around with your money, I help guide you. I don't guarantee profits, but I can definitely... I don't want to make any guarantees, actually. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth and get my butt in trouble. But I help folks understand the market a little bit better. And over time, my goal is to hope you have a more profitable crypto journey in form of making money or not losing money you would have lost without the guidance. All right. Here are the secret charts. And this is the time to hit thumbs up for your creator if you haven't already, and leave a quick emoji comment for me. And again, give your creator, content creator, some lovin's here. All right, what are these? Oh yeah, I already made more than half this damn video, but my audio wasn't on one of these transitions. So that's the first time I've ever done that. Okay, here the tether dominance. I'm gonna go to the daily chart. Take off all these EMAs. And here we go. All right. This chart means if this goes down, Bitcoin goes up in general. If this chart goes up, then Bitcoin goes down. But right now, this chart is going down, but Bitcoin's going sideways for 11 days now. So, does that mean this chart is broken? No. It means money's not going into Bitcoin, rather it's going into altcoins. So what does that mean Bitcoin dominance chart has to be doing? It has to be going down. So let's go to the Bitcoin dominance chart. And before I do that, just realize, I mean, that fake out stuff and what I'm showing you now, I mean, this is, I don't know, my opinion. Hopefully I'm not egomaniac, like totally self-biased here, but I think this is some pretty solid ass free information. I hope you value. Like, share this damn video. Like, hopefully this is helpful. This is one of my better ones in terms of the value I'm giving you for free. I hope you can see that this is not the typical video. And there was another content creator, who might have interviewed Sailor, who I think it was on the 7th. You should watch. It's a longer video, but it is the most comprehensive TA I've ever seen. It is insane. So I'm going to give credit to that individual. Probably one up me on this one, but this is solid ass free information, how to apply it with clicking around, right? So a little bit different. Here we go. So tether dominance or Bitcoin dominance must be going down. And what is it doing? It is going down. See that? Not going to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going sideways. And it's just being played with right now. But so these two charts together, it needs to touch this triangle before it can bounce. And on tether dominance, it has to hit this red zone before it can bounce. It doesn't bounce in the middle. It doesn't do it. It doesn't do it. So when you're going up, you can sometimes have a failure pattern like above a line. That's fine. But when you go below it, you can't bounce. You can bounce on it. So technically it did close a tiny bit below, but whatever. But this far out, you can't bounce here. And so if this can't go up here, then that means that Bitcoin can't resolve itself to the downside, right? Because they're inverse. If this can't go up, then Bitcoin can't go extreme down. And so that means Bitcoin can either chop sideways for the next 1 to 2 weeks, or it can go up. And so I don't want to mislead anybody by saying it's this box and then Bitcoin's dropping. I'm shorting what Cosa said. No. It's this box or the lower. So it doesn't. I'm not saying go all in on a short. It's going to resolve itself to the downside once it hits this, Cosa box. It's going to hit my Cosa box with a very high probability, but that's not guaranteed. I mean, that could just be when both altcoins and Bitcoin start going up. It could mean continuation, right? But the point is, if you are in the mentality of a short bias, because it's a bear market, I mean, midterm you kind of should be, even though the midterm and short time frames technically are up right now. They're in an uptrend. Or the midterms are. The daily is in an uptrend. If you have a short bias, how this is valuable to you and helps you have a more profitable crypto journey is if you're like me and you're short, you have a short bias, you want to be short, this tempers your emotions. And it shows you, okay, well, if I'm short, like I need to take profits a little bit more quickly, or guard my stops, more safely, or take like today in my VIP setup, I recommended, hey, take 25% profits at this level, even though it might go lower, and then put your stops at break even, so you're in a risk-free trade and will add on a lower high, which is actually what's happened. Just like it changes your strategy a little bit, so you're not going for the big one. It's down to 10K. I'm going to get the big short. No, you can't. This or deeper must happen. Am I explaining this right? So it helps you not, this is the big short trade, I'm holding it forever, not setting stops. No. No, this has to happen first before that's even possible. And always set your stops. The one time I didn't, one time my wife dragged me to the gym, right when I was in a curve. I was assuming curve was in a stop up high. And I said to myself, okay, I'm pretty safe here. I can make it to the gym and do it on my phone. I got to the gym. I was probably $2,500 down just in 30 minutes. Don't even walk away from your computer without setting stops. So I don't want you to interpret I was recommending there might be a point where you don't want stops because it's the big short. Always set stops. And don't even walk away from your computer for 2 minutes without a stop set, ever. The one time in about a year that I've done it, 45-minute window just freaking messed me up bad. It was the second biggest mistake I've made in a year, over a year. Second biggest one. Or perhaps tied for the first. So here we go. Bitcoin price. How do we connect this to Bitcoin price now that we've interpreted those secret charts that I was clickbaiting you with or whatever? That might be my title. I don't know. All right. Here we go. The weekly 10. I'm going to go to the 1 minute chart, put on the weekly 10 EMA. I have it drawn over. I'm going to get rid of that for a second, and we'll zoom in. So I'm on the 1 minute chart. I know that returning viewers have heard me say over and over, this is by far, if you could say any one indicator, right, super specific, like with a time frame, being hyper specific with what indicator, this is the most important indicator out of anything. If you can only pick one in a specific time frame, this is it. Because it's valuable both in a bear market and a bull market. It's just amazing. It's by far the most important EMA. But I would vouch that out of any indicator for a specific time frame, the weekly 10 is it. But I'm on the 1 minute chart looking at it. So here you go. The weekly 10, this is why it needs to be on your chart. Sellers are stepping in at this point, and buyers stop becoming buyers. It is that zone for now. It could flip. Price could get on top of it, and sellers could stop selling and become buyers, like on Ethereum right now, once it hits this, and then it goes up. If you go to Ethereum, the same thing has happened. Weekly 10, where are you? Sort of here, but it hit my point of control, so it went in a triangle instead. Here, sellers stopped being sellers, and they turned into buyers. Buyers stepped in. See that? Weekly 10 right here. All right. Here, it just hit my the micro range, the bottom of the micro range. It didn't want to come all the way down. So lines are important too, but when lines intersect or are close to the weekly 10, it is even stronger. Does that make sense? All right, perfect. Why I didn't long here and here, I don't know, but I just didn't want to play with choppy price. Essentially, I didn't trade for about 9 days, which is the longest I've gone without trading for a long time. All right, so the weekly 10 needs to be on your chart. It's going to be part of like my explaining how to have an edge at any time. Right now, price could go sideways. It could chop down, but it can't resolve itself to the downside. And I'm using that word can't. Let's define can't as it's highly improbable. Okay, I have drawn in the daily 55. I'm just leaving it there, and I'm going to throw on the daily 10 and make that white. And these are the 3 EMAs that are holding price right now. The daily 55 right here, the blue, is in the middle. The daily is at the daily 10. The white is at the bottom, okay, this white one, and the weekly 10 is at the top. If you look at Bitcoin CMEs, even more importantly, let me go to the 30-minute chart here. Bitcoin CME chart, which is the futures, which might even hold more weight than spot to a certain degree, but look, it's getting sandwiched. It's in the middle of the range, and it's in the middle of these EMAs with volatility going down, 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 and it's getting squeezed. It's like Pac-Man, like this is like the mouth of a dragon, and it's getting ready to spit fire. It literally could go either way, right? But those two charts are suggesting that this could go sideways and break up. What you could also interpret from those two secret charts on this, because it's getting ready to break, right? I mean, it is close. It's got to. What you could interpret from those charts, if you're biased to the downside like me, even though that bias could easily be wrong, and again, I'm tempering myself with these charts, right? It could be one more spike up to then hit those targets, and it's a fake out above the 10, and then it goes down. But honestly, I don't see that happen. I guess it could happen. But I would honestly assume I would stop being short, having a short mentality. I would probably look to be generally short-term time frame long if that were to happen. I wouldn't strongly anticipate a fake out. I think that would be silly because all this low volatility, I guess it could go both ways and then drop. Yeah. But anyway, just recognize that the volatility is getting crunched. Price getting crunched between these. So if you want something to look at, especially during business hours when this is trading, because this closes at some hours of the day and over the weekend, or particularly over the weekend, this is closed. If it's the weekend, this isn't the most valuable chart to look at. But the thing is, during the weekend, if you get a spike above the weekly 10 and CMEs are closed over the weekend, that's when you can have a fake out on spot. Am I making sense? Over the weekend, this chart does not move. It's not trading. It needs to resolve. It's going to resolve itself. So if over the weekend, price either dips way below this, I guess, especially if it goes above it, if spot price over the weekend floats up or spikes up, I would actually assume that's a fake out. Or suspect it being a fake out because it's not happening on this chart. Am I making sense here? And so this chart, when it's active and trading, this is the one to look at because your range is tight. This is a tight freaking range right now of 7%, which aligns with the fake out today, which was 6.7% because it's staying between these lines. It's literally coloring a dragon between the lines with a baby chart, or a baby drawing thing, right? Whatever those drawing books are called. Okay, now, and so those are the 3 EMAs: the daily 10, the daily 55 in the middle, and the weekly 10 at the top. You're looking for general resolution of it's not resolution of the range, because resolution of the range is at 25K or at 20,750 now. But the resolution of these two gives you the edge of what's getting ready to happen, right? Either resolution above the weekly 10 will lead you to 25 and or beyond, or resolution of the daily 10 to the downside will take you straight to 20,750. That is why this is valuable, because when you have an edge. If you're between here, then you probably need to be taking profits between there too. When it breaks out, you have an edge to the upside at least until 25K. If it breaks below the daily 10 which actually a daily did close below here, but it was the high impact data floating down. So I kind of took that with a grain of salt, right? You have to interpret that. So the daily did close just below here, but it was the floating down thing before seeing me. So I kind of suspected it's a fake out, which it was. And I played it right at the top. But anyway, so if it resolves itself below, let me get to a cleaner chart. If it resolves itself below this daily 10, then you have an edge trading at least to the downside to 20,750. That's it. So hopefully this is super simple. Daily 55 in the middle, really not that important. But weekly 10, daily 10, once it goes above or below, you have an edge until those two levels. Boom. And then you could reverse from those levels. Bitcoin could drop down to 20,750 and go all the way back up. I mean, but you'd have an edge until that point. I really hope that you found this video valuable. For more free, valuable content, click this video right here. If you want futures trading advice you won't find anywhere else. If you're new, it's targeted for newer folks to futures trading, and click this video right here if you want to learn how to set up a chart like mine and have a more profitable crypto journey with a 28-minute trading view tutorial built just for new folks. You just got Timified worldwide. Peace.